Hello. Today on Financial Friday, I want to take you through the importance of home insurance, what you need to know, what you need to be looking out for when you're house hunting, and what's going to cost you money versus what could save you money. So the first thing that I'm going to hop into is the location of the home. So with the location of the home, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but the home insurance companies are going to be looking at the proximity to a fire station, if there was a fire, right? They are also going to be looking at the history of that location. So if that location has a history of flooding or sewer backups or things like that, that can actually affect your premium of what you'd be paying. Next, the electrical. So when you're house hunting, you should be looking at how many amps the panel is. Now, we don't have many, but there is some homes that have 60 amp panels, and those are pretty much impossible to insure. A lot of home insurance companies feel that those do not meet the basic needs of a home. And so either premiums will be really, really high or they'll require you to replace them. And even 70 amp panels are kind of borderline if they'll be covered or not. So typically we like to see at least 100 amps. 200 amps is great. But yeah, 100 amps is kind of that threshold there. So talking about your panel, the next thing to look out for, and this is something that you typically find out in the home inspection results, is your aluminum wiring. So it's not very common for homes to have aluminum wiring here, but when they do, we actually saw for a while that that home insurance companies would not insure aluminum wiring. And so they were required to be replaced, which can be a pretty decent expense. And luckily, our Saskatchewan Real Estate Association was able to do some lobbying and make sure that those were, in fact, insurable, but they will definitely raise your insurance premiums. So next, we're going to move on to wood stoves. Wood stoves are insurable, but they definitely raise your premiums. So the reason being is they are known to be one of the higher fire risks, and they're actually one of the causes of carbon monoxide poisoning as well. So in order for a home insurance company to even cover a wood stove, they are going to require it to be inspected by someone who is WET certified. And so with that would be kind of the determining factor. A lot of people, when they purchase one with a wood stove, will actually just disconnect it so that they don't get that large raise in premiums. Next, the home insurance companies look at the level of finishes and the level of updates. So is the basement finished or not finished? An unfinished basement, your premiums would be lower because if there was a fire or any damage to the home, the cost to bring it back up to current standards would be less money. Same with the age of the home. As the home gets older, the the likelihood of something happening is higher. And so again, there's a higher chance that home insurance companies would have to get involved, which means that your premiums will be higher. Now, something that can potentially help lower your premiums is a monitored alarm system. So not the DIY ones where you install them yourself, but an actual monitored alarm system. We see companies give discounts of 15 to 20% even on your home insurance, because if there's a fire, you're going to be notified right away. If there's a break-in, police will be dispatched right away. So that is really, really helpful. And so they like to recognize that. Other ways that you can get discounts is a sewer backup valve. And that if there has been a sewer backup, typically insurance companies will require them. But it really lessens that likelihood of any sewer backup coming into your basement. Other factors that they're looking at is if it's more renovated. The more renovations that are done to a property, the higher your insurance premiums will be, because it will cost more money to bring it back up to current value. Now, other things that could possibly lower it would be updated plumbing, updated electrical, and updated heating. And that's because with those updates, there is, again, a lower chance of anything going wrong. So, yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's Financial Friday. Just helping you save some money and have a much better home buying and selling experience. So if you have any questions, reach out and join me next week for next week's Financial Friday.